Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be doing a new series called What Is. And in this series I'm going to be taking an in-depth look into a specific game about the history behind it, my personal opinion about the game, and I will also rate it at the very end on a scale of 1 to 10, judging on how highly I recommend the game to a specific audience, which I will also explain who that audience is. And without further ado, let's get right into this video. What is Blackhawk Rescue Mission 5? Blackhawk Rescue Mission 5 is considered by many to be the 5th installment of the Blackhawk Rescue Mission series, but in actuality, it's just based off of it. They even mentioned in their Roblox group that it takes qualities from Blackhawk Rescue Mission 2 and Aftermath. This is nowhere near a bad thing though, especially considering that they had permission from Platinum 5 himself to do this. Honestly, knowing that makes it so much better, because Platinum 5 is willing to give up his series to somebody and they are able to progress it this far. And with BRM 1 having 6.3 million place visits and BRM 2 having close to 8 million, this was definitely a well-awaited sequel to what could have been something amazing if Platinum 5 had kept it up. I'll post a link to both the games in the description below, but keep in mind that BRM 1 has way less of a following than BRM 2 does, considering that it's a lot older and it doesn't have as much to offer as Blackhawk Rescue Mission 2 does. But all the scripts are updated constantly by Platinum 5 so that they can stay up to date and stay working on Roblox. Blackhawk Rescue Mission 1 brought a lot to the table, but ultimately Blackhawk Rescue Mission 2 completely destroyed it and made everything better tenfold, in my opinion. It had a bigger map, better design, the lighting was a lot better, and overall the gunplay and the map was just so much better. It was such an improvement that I'm pretty sure the reason why it still has a following today is for that purpose. It's just such an iconic game. I wasn't able to get much of any footage from BRM 3, Aftermath, or Museum, mainly considering that all the projects were either halted or I don't have access to any of them. And what I mean by they were halted is that they haven't been updated in so long that the script is just so outdated that Roblox doesn't even allow me to select a class on BRM 3. And then I didn't even want to try Museum out because it has the same summary right above the play button as BRM 3 had. The thing that makes Blackhawk Rescue Mission 5 so much more different than its predecessors is the fact that it involves open world aspects and PvP aspects. And with the new introduction of Operation Viper a few weeks back, it brought in a whole new aspect of the game called Raid Mode. And in this mode, it is more of a campaign cinematic type thing, so if you're really into stuff like that, then that would be perfect for you. BRM 5's open world aspects of the game brings a whole new level of map design to the BRM community. With 7 main locations on a small European island, nothing feels too far apart or too close together. Sakuranina City is the only desert city on the map and is located exactly westward of the HQ. Sakuranina City, while one of the easier cities to liberate from the terrorist force, it also has hostages in the building, so watch your fire when you go in. Ronograd City is the biggest city on the entire island, so it's no wonder why the terrorists want it so badly. From personal experience, I think this one is probably the hardest to liberate, considering that its reinforcements have turrets and loads of foot soldiers, making it hard to get an angle on anybody in the sector around them. Honestly, the easiest way that I've discovered to do this is definitely to have a friend that can fly an A-10. Yes, it's not accessible by everybody, but there's bound to be one person in your server with it. Fort Ronograd is the second hardest area to liberate, in my opinion, on the entire island. The AIs are placed in a strategic location that gives them cover advantage at almost all times. And the only way that I've found to get the cover advantage on them is to either land a Little Bird, Chinook, Sea Stallion, or a Blackhawk up on top of the roof of the command center and shoot down from there. An A-10 definitely would help, but it would require a very skilled flyer as it takes multiple strafes to take out the whole entire base. The forest village is similar to Sakuranina City as it's a hostage rescue type scenario. It's definitely one of the easier places to liberate because the enemies are kind of spread out, but at the same time it can be a challenge depending on how you go at it. If you go from the sides, it's a lot easier to snipe it, but if you rush straight in, everybody in the village that has a gun can see you and shoot you. It has a low reinforcement rate, but they almost spawn instantly. This is due to them spawning in a garage and the garage opening as soon as you complete the village, resulting in you getting shot in the back a few times before you even realize it if it's your first time ever liberating it. Quarry is possibly the easiest of all the monuments to liberate. Quarry is really one of the best areas to get used to a certain gun, considering that the hostiles have no cover and you can stand out of sight and kill them all easily. If you stick around and explore Quarry, you'll start to notice small little details in the places like the mine shaft, like a chem lab or other things like that. So this shows that they're probably going to add stuff in the future for Quarry. Reinforcements for this area are very light and easy, considering that me and my buddy only had to kill combined 3 to get out. Quarry is a pretty basic monument and, like I mentioned earlier, can act as a firing range for you if you really need to get used to a weapon fast. Communication Tower is definitely one of the harder but more rewarding tasks on the map. Unlike other monuments, Communication Tower allows you to pick up a bag and take it back to HQ for 300 cash and 400 XP, while also having terrorist AIs surrounding the premises. This area also takes ideas from Sakuranina City and Forest Village, having the garage where the enemies come out and the hostages being in the way of everything so they might get shot. The only downside of this part of the map is that there's a limited number of bags that you can grab. So if somebody has a group of like 6 or 7 people and you have a group of 3, you're most likely not going to get a bag, but everybody else will. And lastly, we have the Department of Utilities, or more well known as Bunker. This is probably one of the most remote places on the map, but that's to be expected for some place called the Bunker. And it's not that much harder than Sakuranina City though. For matter of fact, it's probably easier, but considering that the reinforcements come in almost instantly and have hillside advantage, you are quite literally fighting an uphill battle at that point. But like always, an A10 can always help out. If all this open world stuff bores you, then I got the perfect thing for you. PvP. This game has loads of it. It has customization. It has 2v2s. It has 5v5s. It has ranked. You can even go into private servers. What more could you ask for from a game that's only been out for a year and a half? I won't be going in depth on the maps like I did for open world for PvP, because the only map that has an external kind of makeshift map for it is Tokyo, and there's 5 other maps in rotation, and it doesn't make sense to do a segment just on Tokyo. As I mentioned earlier, you can customize your character in this game, whether it be your appearance or your weapon loadout. With weapon loadouts, there's so many guns to pick from, like the Scar H, the P90, the MK18, the AUG A3, the M24, the Deagle, and many more to pick from. As for character customization, you can customize his vest, his uniform, his helmet, his NVs, and much more as well. Now I hear you saying, how is this supposed to help me in a competitive standpoint in PvP? Well, I'm glad you asked, because on dark maps like Gym, in a corner alley, you can sit there with a really dark uniform and a dark helmet, and they wouldn't be able to see you at all. On top of that, you can customize your guns to have less recoil and have better optics, or something that appeals to you. Personally, I love this game. It's definitely one of my favorites on Roblox right now, and I played it since zombies had been in the game. It's amazing to see that in a year and a half that Platinum 5 has completely transformed the game. From something that literally had a bald-headed figure running around to being able to have a helmet on with night vision. Like, you gotta admit, that's pretty insane. Even if it's not like a huge transition, For a game that's only been out for a year and a half and they're already prioritizing customization, that's amazing. Though there are some bugs with PvP, with when you're running, it just stops you randomly sometimes, or when you're shooting, it'll just stop you from shooting sometimes. And I've had this issue, but sometimes when I press prone, it just doesn't actually do it. Now, there's also been a lot of hackers that have appeared in the game a lot more lately. I've faced, I think, 5 to 6 blatant hackers in the past week, and this never used to happen. Though I do get mad at the time, it's usually at the hacker and not the game, because I understand how hard it is to make an anti-cheat for something like this. Overall, there are definitely still some map bugs as well that allow you to get on the roof, under your cars, and in places that you're not actually supposed to be. And at times it can be annoying, but at times it can be really useful. So overall, I think they should just be taken out or fixed. In the end, I give Blackhawk Rescue Mission 5 an 8 out of 10. Due to this game having so much you can do in it, it's really just a playground for anybody. If you like to roleplay, you can have a mill sim inside an open world, or you can do raid mode for a more cinematic experience. If you're more on the competitive side, like myself, 5v5s, 2v2s, and ranked is definitely the way to go for you. Open world also allows people who like to play more competitively have the chance to relax and earn cash without getting frustrated. This definitely helps me cool down, especially after a game when I'm playing ranked and I lose elo. Though hackers and bugs are more prominent now lately than they have ever been since I started playing, it's definitely a game that I recommend to anybody that likes to roleplay, likes to play competitively, or just plays casually in an FPS game in general. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. If you liked it, please like it, and if you want to see more from me, please subscribe and hit the bell notification down below. It would really mean a lot. If there's anything that you guys thought I missed or what you thought I could have done differently, put down in the description. Alright, peace out.